Alright, everyone, and we are finally back with the final run of the night. I am super excited to present to you Lightmatter Any No Major Glitches with Osborne. Take it away, Osborne.
I highly recommend checking it out if you are interested. No worries. We're good. It's all right. Okay, y'all should be able to hear me now, or so I'm told. But hello, everyone. My name is Osborne, and I hope that y'all have a wonderful night. This is Lightmatter Any No Major Glitches. I'm really excited to be closing out the first day of this marathon with this one. This is the first game that I really took seriously when it comes to speedrunning. It's a game that I say got me into speedrunning, even though it's not technically on my first speedrun. However, it holds a really special place in my heart, and every time that I show it off in a marathon, it reminds me of why I got into speedrunning and the reasons that I'm still speedrunning today. With that being said, I do have someone on the couch with me today who isn't a speedrunner of the game himself, but I wanted someone on the couch with me just for fun. And so, Murph, if you want to introduce yourself.
Yes. Hello, I'm Murph. As Oz said, I have never played this game. I've never speedrun this game. But I did watch the same speedrun of this that got Oz into speedrunning. So I feel that counts for something. I'm just here to have a good time. And I hope that you guys do too.
Yeah, thank you so much for being here. Feel free to jump in and just say stuff whenever you want. Really, I'm super excited to have someone else here. But yeah, Murph saw the AGDQ 2021 run of this game. I was gonna watch Pikmin 2, and the run before that was this run by a wonderful guy named Bobby Berm, who is currently third place holder, and I absolutely loved the run. So much so that 3 days later, I played it and then started speedrunning it. I do not know what attracted me so much to this game that I almost immediately began picking it up and speedrunning it, but I'm glad I did because it brought me to where I am today. But with that being said, we're going to go into extras here, and we're actually going to turn on speedrun stats. Later in the run, we're going to turn on developer commentary for a specific trick, so remember that later. Aside from that, the timing will begin when I hit level 1 right here. So, 3, 2, 1, go. All right. Fingers crossed. Let me have a good run today. All right. So,
Sure we will.
I'm sure we will. You're right. The basics of Lightmatter is that any and all shadows in this game will kill you. As the game says, or the game describes it, it's like the floor is lava, but with shadows that eat organic material. There are a few exceptions to that, very few specific exceptions to that that I'll mention when we get there. However, for the most part, all the shadows in this game will kill you. You cannot die in the first 2 levels, mainly because there are no shadows to kill you in the first 2 levels. They're meant to be tutorial sequences that just show you basic movement and basic mechanics. And so we're not going to be introduced to actual real shadow that can kill you until level 3. Even if you somehow manage to get to no clip and go into a separate room that does have shadow in it, there is no kill plane programmed into there. So you physically cannot die in levels 1 or 2, even if you tried. But you're going to be seeing me do some basic stuff, such as jumping upstairs or sliding down handrails of stairs to gain some speed. Very small things that add up a lot throughout the run. So that's the end of level 1. Level 2, we're going to go into this room, and we're going to be introduced to our main antagonist, which is Virgil. He has corrupt CEO syndrome in the fact that every single thing that he does, he thinks it's great for the greater good of light matter, even if it ends up like hurting a lot of people in the process. He is one of the 2 disembodied voices in this game. Think of it as the GLaDOS of this game. Which, speaking of Portal, are actually going to mention a few other Portal stuff later. But we're introduced to him in this first level, and when we go over here, this door closes, and as we wait for that door to like open back up, you can actually see, again, there's shadow here. Technically, this amount of shadow should kill you, but it doesn't, because there's absolutely no way you can die in the first 2 levels. No kill plans are programmed at all. And so we're going to be going up here, and the game introduces us to another basic mechanic of just like pressing buttons. And so this is really just basic movement, and the thing about like any percent no major glitches is that a lot of, as is the nature of like glitchless and no major glitches speedruns, a lot of what we're going to be doing is technically intended but fast. But with that being said, we also have a lot, and I mean like a lot of skips that are completely glitchless technically in the game. But we're gonna go to the elevator, and actually that's the whole game. We're gonna end the game like right here. Do not worry about the 15-minute estimate. Do not worry about the fact that there's a death counter. We're gonna go up this elevator, and then the game will end, because that is the happy ending in which we go to safety, and then nothing else bad happens. So yeah, GG.
Congratulations, fantastic run.
Yeah, world record by like 49 minutes.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's wild. But of course, the plot has to plot, the game has to game, and the speedrun has to speedrun. So of course something bad happens, and the elevator crashes so drastically that we definitely should be dead right now, but we're not. But you know, plot armor, all that jazz, main character syndrome. So title card, Lightmatter. And so, from here on out, the game's shadows will, for the most part, kill you. Again, specific exceptions that I'll mention when we get there. But the first thing we're going to do is we're going to jump out of this elevator. Level 3 is pretty simple in terms of the speedrun. There's not too much to mess up. Watch me mess up something else now that I've said that. But as soon as you see these lights turn off, right now, 1, 2, 3, just do that, and that timing should help you go across the 2 lights first try. In level 4, we're going to be introduced to our first proper skip, and so in this next room, you're going to be seeing two bridges, one on top and one on the bottom. We're only going to worry about the top bridge right now, in which we're going to be moving it right, left, and then right again. And the second time that we turn it right, it has a little bit of delay. It when you move it to the left and move it back to the right, it has to like wait for it to slow down and then speed back up for it to turn to the right. And so during that time, you're able to walk across the bottom bridge and get to the other side of it before the top bridge covers it in shadow, and that skips a lot of the puzzle. And speaking of skipping the puzzle, there's a puzzle in this room. I don't know what the solution is, but it was there. But we just went across that rock and immediately to the end.
Puzzles that are entirely optional.
Exactly. And now we're introduced to a new mechanic, which is called lamps. Lamps are heavy and clunky. And they really do mean that, because you cannot jump with a lamp in your hand, and your movement speed decreases ever so slightly if you have a lamp in your hand. So as functional and as useful as they are, we actually want to avoid carrying lamps whenever possible, only when strictly necessary. Level 6 was a cycle-based level, and thankfully we got the fast cycle at the very end. But right here, level 7 is the first level in which we're going to be introduced to our first glitch that we have allowed in no major glitches. And the thing that we do is, you can see anything that you pick up in yellow, anything that's like in yellow outline you can pick up, and we're going to pick this lamp and we're going to like shove it right there next to that vent. And then for whatever reason, the physics of that lamp, when you put it into a slanted object, it just goes all out of whack, and you're able to like jump on top of it and get a huge boost upwards that allows us to stand on top of that platform up there and jump over the shadow to get to the other side, which saves a lot of lamp placements. Saves around like 15 seconds total. Level 8, as you can see here to my left hand side, we see the core. That actually is going to come back a lot more in later levels. However, level 8 is pretty much the intended solution, but fast. This is a moment where I like to say that like this game is very beginner friendly. One of the more satisfying things in this game is just the movement that you can do, and I highly recommend it to anyone who is like going to get into a game for the first time, because it's purely skill based. There's absolutely zero RNG in this run. There's no RNG at all. And so it's all skill based, and there's a very low skill floor, high skill ceiling type of game. So I highly recommend that anyone who is interested in a game like this pick it up. There's even a demo on Steam if you want to try it out. But Murph, how are you feeling right now?
I'm good. I'm thoroughly enjoying it. I'm glad that you've not stepped into the darkness, haven't been eaten by a grue.
Not yet, thankfully.
And yeah,
Yeah.
I keep blinking, and you're into the next level.
Yeah, it's very fast paced, including this level right here, in which it's actually another cycle-based level. And if we're really quick with our lamp placement right here, we actually are able to skip a cycle of this machine that's moving back and forth, which is called the mineral decontaminator. And thankfully, we successfully skipped that cycle. So that's level 9.
Nice.
Level 10, we get introduced to a mechanic that makes sense, but we don't really like think about it that much up until this point, in which you can leave lamps in the dark. As you can see, it kind of introduces that right here. In that, like, remember, the shadows only ever eat organic material, which in this context just means you, and any other living object. And so as long as you can just leave the lamp right there, you're going to use this lamp to jump over the other side, and then we can bring this lamp over and just shine our light across. So yeah, go across here, and then at level 10, we can just watch this. Wait. As you can see, Virgil just actually took a jab at Aperture Sciences with the blessing of Valve themselves. As you can, Valve is actually in the special thanks of this game. You can see that they make a lot of Portal references, and I think canonically this actually takes place in the Portal universe, so that's fun. And you can see that I'm trying to like jump on the other side to get to the other side. It literally does not matter if you die here. If you die during a cutscene, the cutscene will just keep going on because you have free movement during all of them. And so, like, yeah, you can just stay here. But you're not supposed to be here. If you die, that's what like the standard death animation is supposed to look like. You can just go across here. But yeah. Cell, if you want to say anything right now as host, you can.
Sure. I remind people that got some very exciting runs coming tomorrow. Do have one incentive open all the way for the end of day tomorrow with Stardew Valley. If you want to see more pets like we're going to see at the end of this run, you can help put towards whether the Sam marriage run is going to get a cat or a dog. That's just going to be open until the start of that run. So you got lots of time to get some donations in.
Wonderful. Level 11 right here is another cycle-based level. There was a small portion in my speedrunning where for some reason I would die a lot in level 11, despite the fact that it is not a level that you need to speed up at all, because there's no way you can get like a fast cycle. Like, you feel like you should be able to get a fast cycle here before this platform moves across, but you can't. We've tried, I promise, unless you want to come and play this game yourself and prove us wrong. But it's pretty simple. There's not really too much of a need to like be rushed. You can thankfully be pretty careful with what you're doing and not lose any time. But in this next level, there's actually a very interesting skip found by a community member named Rebel Rose. And so essentially what you can do is as soon as it turns to level 12, you can just retry. And congrats, you've saved like a minute. So what that did was essentially there was supposed to be like a small elevator that we went up and that went through a cutscene, and then it'll bring us up to where we are right now. However, if you retry the level, each level has a designated like start and stop point, and the designated start point of this game, of this particular level, is right before the puzzle, so that you don't have to watch the cutscene over again. And thankfully, that just allows us to have a free time save. Now we are introduced to Ellen. Everyone say hello to Ellen.
Hello.
Yes, hello, Ellen. She is the voice of reason. Every time you see we're in this like pinkish, reddish areas, you're going to see a lot of voice memos from Ellen, but when she worked here at Lightmatter Industries. And we're in these like underground sections of Lightmatter, in which we're going to be dealing with a lot of these underground fans. And level 13 itself doesn't really have a lot of skips, but level 14 actually does have a really convenient skip that we can use, and it's really cool to pull off. But right here is actually what I would say, like my favorite part of the game, like mid game, like level 13 to like level 21. It's like one of my favorite portions of the game because the movement is just so crisp if you do it right. And so hopefully we do. So right here, we're actually going to put this lamp over here. Oh, thank you. Bring it over to the other side. And then the skip is right over here when we pick up this lamp. We're going to be moving the fan once, and then putting this fan over here. And we're going to stand on like the very edge of this platform. And if we stand on the very edge, we are actually able to move with the platform without getting pushed off. Which allows us to skip a lot of lamp placements and have that lamp face this way, so we can walk up this ramp with light, and then we can bring this lamp up and walk across this catwalk to make it over to level 15. This is the last level that we're going to be for a while that we're going to be seeing Ellen. And if you played the demo after level 14, this is actually where the demo ends. That's 12 minutes into the speedrun. It is a very lengthy demo without actually giving up too much of the lore of this game. It's pretty good. So I highly recommend picking that up. Here, there is technically a skip we can have in level 15. We haven't really decided yet if it should be allowed in like no major glitches. And so what we did right there was just as an intended solution, in which we like took advantage of the entire cone of light and lit up both sensors at the same time. Level 16 is a level that I absolutely love because if you do the movement really well, it's so satisfying. We're going to be going up here, and then we're going to be shining a light on this sensor, and then going back down to where we put this guy. And we're going to walk backwards as we shine a light on this sensor. And thankfully, when you pick up a lamp in this game, you can just, like, it just snaps forward. You don't have to turn it. And so when we pick up that lamp, it snaps forward, and then we just quickly jump onto the light that we just shined before the door closes and kills us with the shadow. And this level 17, is another interesting one. We have a little small skip. We need to make sure that this sensor has a light on it at all times. And we're going to be using the entire cone of light of this lamp in order to make sure that both hallways are lit up at the same time, so you can avoid a few more lamp placements. And you want to really make sure that you're walking forward while shining the sensor, because otherwise the door will close and Virgil will laugh at you. And now there's level 18 and 19, which technically do the exact same skips, but they're used in different ways. But first and foremost, we're going to be bringing this lamp. We're going to have it shine on that sensor over here. We're bringing it over. And then we're going to pick it up on the other side. And as soon as we pick it up on the other side, we're actually going to be lining it up with these outlets on the wall right here and shining it in this direction. And as you can see, the tables over here are just barely have enough light where you can walk on them without getting eaten by the shadows. And the exact same thing happens right here in level 19, where we take this lamp, put it in the corner, and we're going to be shining it on these pipes. And oh, okay, that's actually like the hardest jump in the entire run, so I'm not surprised that I died there. So that's a first unintended death. So let's see here. There we go. Perfect. Second try. We got it. So yeah, that's level 18 and 19. And thankfully we found a skip for level 19 because the puzzle for 19 is so long. Level 20, we actually also have another skip. Again, skip after skip. In which you actually don't have to be on the same like plane in order to pick up a lamp. You just have to be within grabbing distance of it, and so we took advantage of that by picking up the lamp while we're on one level above it, so we can like skip a lot of back and forth between like the shining the sensor that brings the elevator up and down, and then we're going to be shining this light across here. And a new mechanic that we're actually introduced to is strafing with lamps, which surprisingly, if you could believe it, is actually a mechanic that when playtesting for this game, casual players couldn't really figure it out, despite the fact that in this level you do it twice, and it's the first level that the mechanic gets introduced to. And so you have to just shine this light onto the sensor while moving across with it, and then that's the end of level 20. Level 21 is just like a transitional level between level 20 and 22. Murph, how you feeling right now?
This is just absolutely incredible. I am absolutely in awe, and I'm definitely going to be going and playing the demo on Steam very soon, because
It's very good.
it just looks so good.
It's amazing. It's a really good speedrun too. Do you have any questions so far, by any chance?
I don't think so. You're doing an absolutely fantastic job of explaining everything as we're going along. I suppose if I had one question, and I'm racking my brains to figure out the question, how long did it take you to learn the speedrun route?
The speedrun routes. Again, this is a very beginner-friendly game. I think that like I did my first speedrun of this game about a week after I first played it casually. I played it casually like 3 times, like 3 days after buying the game, and then I ended up learning the speedrun like a week later. Again, it's very beginner-friendly, and I mean that in learning and executing, and it's really, really nice. This particular level that we're on, level 22, is a very interesting one. You saw on the bottom floor, there were 2 lamps that were moving back and forth on 2 platforms, and you have to figure that out with that puzzle. However, this top puzzle is a similar puzzle where it's just 2 lamps, but it's 4 platforms all going in a rotation, and so they have slightly different solutions, and what we just did was the intended solution to fast. However, level 22 that we're still in is the biggest level, with the exception of the last one. I do say it's like the biggest puzzle level because the last level doesn't really technically have any puzzles. But we're gonna drink some coffee while we wait for this cutscene to end. There's so much coffee in this room.
Cheers.
I don't know why there's so much coffee in this room. And we're gonna have a little bit of a sneak peek to Lux the cat. This is a picture of Lux the cat that we're gonna meet later after the run is over.
Kitty.
Yeah. So this is like the second fake out the game has, or maybe even the third if you count the first one, where the game is just like, oh, you're fine, you're gonna go to safety, and then the game just kills you, or the game, whatever safety was coming, just crashes. And so Ellen is back, and she's telling us about the schemes that Arthur and Virgil have been getting up to here in Lightmatter Industries. We're going to be doing the bottom floor of level 22 backwards, which is exactly why I put this particular lamp in a very specific position so that I could walk across the light without having to readjust it on the way back. And right here, we're going to be shining this light forward, and we're just going to go straight to the end of level 22. Level 23 is the exact same map as level 21. We're just going through it a little bit differently. However, there's a very specific skip here that doesn't exist in level 21, but does exist in level 23, in which you go into this room, you exit, you go to extras, developer commentary, turn that on, grab the developer commentary file, and then turn developer commentary back off. And what that just did was save 20 seconds. There is a line that Virgil says, and this door that we just walked into does not open until Virgil finishes it. However, if you have developer commentary turned on and you turn off and you pick up that audio file, Virgil just stops talking. He gets cut off by the developer commentary, and so so you don't have to wait like 2 minutes, the devs just said, hey, we're going to open that door automatically if you pick up the devs file. So a free dev intended 20-second time save. Love to see.
Fantastic.
We love to see it. Yeah,
Got that version skip.
we do. We do. And right here we get introduced to orbs. Orbs on a stick, or photon crystals as they're more formally said. These photon crystals are a very wonderful mechanic. As you can see, as long as they are in eyesight of a mother source, they will always have beams of light around them that connect them and the mother source together. As long as one orb is in line of a mother source, you can actually connect as many orbs as you want, as long as one of them is connected to the mother source. You can just chain them together or triangulate some light like we're doing right now. And so this particular level as an introduction to orbs is just the intended solution but fast, but we're actually going to be really pushing the limits of these orbs and the connections between them, because you probably saw that the connections, they turn pink and red. The darker they turn, that's essentially the game telling you, hey, if you keep moving, the connection is going to get interrupted and you're going to die. And so we're going to really push the limits of that, especially in this level right now. With level 25 skip, we're going to be, as you can see, just there's a lot, like we barely connected these. There's a lot of, and then we're going to bring that over here, bring the platform on the bottom down, and that skip that we just did by really pushing the limits of the connections saves around 20 seconds. So we're going to rail grind across here. Rail grinding was a thing that I did earlier, but I didn't really introduce all that well. You just, whenever there's like a moving platform across a rail, you can just grind across the rail. However, it's a lot more difficult than it looks because the game is constantly trying to push you off either side, and so you have to like balance yourself. So that's level 25. Level 26 has another skip to it with the orbs. And it is a very interesting skip because it's actually the most appropriate time for me to explain how shadows work and how they kill you. But first, we're going to actually get to where the skip is. As you can see, this is also the first introduction to a moving mother source. The mother source is connected to this platform, which you can move back and forth, and that is very important. Because we can just keep this, we're going to move this platform across, we're going to put this orb right here on that very specific corner, and then we're going to move this across the fence so that it connects with the other mother source on the other side. Put it right here. And as you can see right here, we just grinded across a rail that had shadow on it. It did not light up at all, but for some reason, it didn't kill us. The reason being, the way that the game like kills you is that there are a certain amount of invisible points around the player's feet, and if enough of those points are covered by shadow, the game says, hey, you're dead, and it kills you. For some reason, on that specific rail and no other rail in the game, you don't have enough points around your feet that are covered in shadow to kill you. And you probably saw that in specific sections, I did walk across just a little bit of shadow without dying, and that's pretty much why.
I did wonder that.
Yes.
That's good to know.
Exactly. So right here, level 27 is what we call an auto walker, because this is another one that's the intended solution but fast. We go into 2 huge circles. One thing that I will always say is that before you disconnect the previous connection, you want to make sure that you connect to the next orb or mother source before you're moving on, because you always want to make sure that at least one source is connected to you at all times so that you don't die. Level 27 is done, and now we are going to go here to level 28, in which there is a specific skip, in which again we are going to push the limits of these connections between the orbs, and we're going here, and then we're going to bring this orb and have it connected to this guy over here. Oh, excuse me. Thank you. And now we are going to put this orb in this corner right here. As far to the corner as we can get it. And now we're going to guy like right here. And so we're going to be bringing this platform back here. And with this orb, we're going to be putting it right here. And it just barely has enough light for us to kind of jump on over to the sliver of light that you saw right there and skip the majority of the actual puzzle solving in level 28. If you had a keen ear, as I was exiting that level, you probably heard a little melody in your left headphone, in which there was a radio in that room playing Still Alive from Portal, which is the second Portal reference that we've seen in this run. Level 29. There's not a lot to say about level 29 because, like, like it's just the intended solution, but like fast. So much so that this is actually a really boring level. There is technically a skip that you can do, but it only works in ILs, because there is this skip called level displacement, in which you essentially quickly restart the level and then quit to main menu, quit to main menu and then restart the level in quick succession, because both you can access both from the menu before it fades to black. And so when you do that, the game respawns you in this level, right exactly where you were standing, but it turns all of the other props in the level back to where they were. With that being said, if you attempt to finish a level when that happens, the game thinks that you're in level 1 because you said quit to title. And so if you finish the level, it will wrong warp you back to level 2, because that's just how the game functions if you hit a loading zone. So that's that, and that's level 29. So and that glitch was actually found by our glitch hunter Ralcor. Shout out to him, because Ralcor, we think that he's done with the game, and then like after like 6 months of not talking to the server, he's just like, hey, I found this, it saves like 20 seconds. Like, I don't know what he does or where he finds this like random spurts of motivation to just come back to the game and like find something, but you know, a lot of the glitches and skips that we use are found because of him. So shout out to Ralcor. Level 30 is another level that's like just the intended solution but fast. So Murph, if you want to chime in here, you can.
Yeah, I mean, these orbs on a stick are really handy, and yeah, I did notice that Virgil did have one redeeming quality in that he likes cats. So I guess every villain needs to have at least one redeeming trait.
One redeeming trait that makes him, at the very least, a little tolerable.
Yep.
So yeah. Sel, if you want to say some stuff, you can now as host, because this is just another cutscene we have to sit through.
Yeah, absolutely. Like to remind everyone who we are raising money for with this event. Prevent-A-Thon is raising money for Little Warriors, which is a national charitable organization focused on the awareness, prevention, and treatment of child sexual abuse. They also advocate on behalf of and with child sexual abuse survivors. And they have many, many programs. They have a Bridge community program to educate all children and youth on a variety of topics for their overall mental health and well-being. And as well, coming soon, I'm going to have a place for adults who are sexually abused as children to finally receive the intensive treatment they deserve and need at a place called Our Lighthouse. That's going to be super exciting. If you want more details about either of those programs or any program that Little Warriors offers, please visit littlewarriors.ca.
Alright. Thank you so much. Now we're at level 32. Level 32 has a very specific skip that once again really pushes the connections to their limits. We're gonna see, as you can see, it's on the cusp of breaking right now, but we're gonna leave this guy like right here, as close as we can to that line without actually getting there. And so on the other side, we're going to be connecting him right here. Perfect. We want to really be careful right now, because you do not want this to go poorly. And so we're going to be doing a little bit of a safer strat by just playing it safe and moving the connections together. There's a slightly faster way you can do that. It only loses like 2 seconds if you do it the way that I did. But I'd rather do that than die. There's a lot of time. Here's another example of rail grinding, and if we do it right, we're actually going to rail grind pretty fast like that. Sometimes when you rail grind off of a moving platform, the momentum that you have from the moving platform maintains as you rail grind. And so that is, like, I think honestly the last time that we're going to see rail grinding in the game, so thankfully I got the cool version. Alright, so that's the end of the puzzle, level 33. Level 34 has some lore drops. Murph, how are you feeling about the run? How are you feeling about this game so far, with everything that you've seen?
I mean, it looks like an absolutely fantastic game, and I know we're not getting all the puzzle solutions, but the ones that we are getting, where you're doing the sort of intended strats, it looks like it would be a lot of fun to play casually, as well as doing the speed run.
Yeah. It is a lot of fun casually. Like when I first played this game, it took me a few hours to get through it, and it was a lot of fun. Some of these puzzles, trying to solve it casually is really hard. And thankfully, I actually skip a lot of puzzles in this game. So if you really want to figure it out for yourself, you weren't spoiled about some of the puzzle solutions. Right now, we're in a cutscene. We're about to do flashing lights warning. Look away if you need to. The entire screen is going to turn white. So I won't blame you. I'll tell you when to look back. Alright, you can look back now. So, what I just did was that in the story, essentially the way you solve Lightmatter is by overloading the core, as we just saw. And after overloading the core, you can see that some shadows are actually perfectly fine. These are normal shadows that won't kill you, if you could believe it. Those do exist. And this is the only part of the story in which shadows won't kill you. There are other parts later in the game in which we're going to walk across shadows that should kill you but won't. But as you can see, the only like the tar-like shadows, as the game describes it, are the ones that kill you. Oh wait, hold on, right there. Yeah, wait, no, okay. Well, I don't know why I got lost there, but it's fine. We're gonna bring this across here, and we're gonna shine it across this sensor. My movement's mixed up. We're gonna go right here. Oh no! We disconnected. A little bit of time lost, but that's fine. We want to make sure that this sensor is shining the entire time, so this door is open, and we're gonna connect it with that guy. If you look to my left of the screen right now, you see a turret and a weighted storage cube. That is the last, and that is the third and final portal reference that we're gonna be seeing throughout this game. And then we're gonna be bringing this guy forward. This is another puzzle that's like the intended solution, but fast, level 35. Wow, okay. The second unintended death. We love to see it this far into the game. And so we're going to be going through here. And just for fun, in this next level, there is a skip that is very difficult to get. We often don't go for it in speedruns just because it's really inconsistent. But it's so cool if you get it. So I'm going to attempt to do it. Just because this is a marathon setting, and it'd be really, really fun to just see if we can get it. It's called level 36 skip. It saves a thick amount of time if you can get it right. We're going to be bringing this lamp over here onto this moving platform, and we're going to be moving it across like so. And then we're just going to be rail grinding across here with this orb. And hopefully, if the game is really polite to us, it'll just bounce us up here. As you can see, it didn't. As soon as you get stopped there, you're just going to have to try again. I'm only going to try it like 3 more times, because we do have to get this show on the road. Yeah, as soon as it stops you, just have, like, we don't know like how to do this correctly, because like it just feels like there's no consistent way of doing it. Yeah, like as soon as that happens, this is the last time that I'll try it. Like the game just pushes you up sometimes, and sometimes it doesn't. Yep, like so. All right, looks like we'll just have to do the intended solution, unfortunately. But that saved like a solid 30 seconds or more, because it skips all of the puzzle solving that I'm right now about to do. And whoa, that I'm surprised that killed me actually. But that's fine. We're gonna bring it across here. Thank you. And so this puzzle actually has several kind of intended solutions. And so we're going to be doing obviously the fastest one, which we bring this second lamp across here. So because as we want like the mother source that's moving back and forth to always be connected to at least one orb over here, so that we can easily traverse the front and back of back and forth in each of these levels. And so now we're going to be putting the lamp on here, and we're going to be going to the other side, which we're going to be pressing that button. And what's all of the things I just did would have been skipped if we had made level 36 skip. It would have landed us right here, in which this lamp and this orb will already be on the other side, and we can just finish the level immediately. We're going to bring this orb over, and then we're going to bring it across here, shine it here. Perfect. And now we're going to be going into level 36. Level 36 is an interesting level because, or level 37, sorry. Level 37 is an interesting level because it's another one that has a lot of different solutions that you could figure out. But believe it or not, the solution that we're doing right now is none of the intended solutions. It's actually a very unintended solution that we're doing. And so we're going to be putting this orb right here on that line. And then we're going to bring this guy over here, because we want to shine on this sensor so the bridge stays on the left side, because we want to bring this orb over. And then we're going to have it shine and connect with this orb on the other side that we just put over there. And you want the connection between two of these, you want the connection between the two of these orbs to be pink, not red, not white, but pink. Because you want, after shining this lamp, you want to bring it across here and to have it barely not shine on the sensor, so that the bridge stays underneath your feet and won't go and won't like disappear from underneath you, and you'll die and have to restart that whole section all over again. So yeah, that's level 37. Now we're going to go straight into level 38, which is the final level of the game. It is also the longest level of the game, in which the first thing that we're going to be doing is doing the same skip that we did in level 12 by retrying, and then it's going to restart us after this cutscene into where the real actual level is. But that was a 2-minute cutscene that we just skipped. However, unfortunately, we have to sit through another 2-minute cutscene. Cell, if you want to say something real quick, you can.
Yeah, absolutely. Just to remind everyone that we do have prizes for this event, so if you make a donation, you can be entered to the raffle for either a copy of Trifox or some lovely little games packages from Daisy Games, which is a developer who makes some really, really fantastic puzzle games.
Right,
Can confirm Daisy Games are great games. You definitely want to be donating to be in with a chance of picking up some of those fantastic puzzle games.
Yeah, it's nice. Murph, now that we're at the final level, how are you feeling? Any questions, any thoughts, any sentiments you'd like to share?
I mean, if everyone else in chat isn't already adding Lightmatter to their Steam wish lists, I don't know what you guys are doing. I've already added it to mine. I've already got the demo downloading, or at least I've paused the download so that it doesn't disrupt the Discord call. But yeah, this is great. So much great movement tech, and yeah, we need to defeat those grooves.
Yes. And first of all, here's Ellen. This is like a very distorted image of Ellen and what she looks like. Also, I forgot to mention, the voice actors of this game, Natalie Hitzel, who has done stuff with like Final Fantasy and Genshin Impact. And then there's David Bateson, who is Virgil, and David Bateson is like Hitman Agent 47 from the Hitman series. And I've had the privilege of actually interviewing both of them for another marathon that I did, in which I did like a speed run while interviewing them, which was absolutely beautiful. I'm so thankful that I had the opportunity to meet them, and they're amazing people, such talented. And if the performances they give in this game, and also the story of this game in general, is another reason why I highly recommend you should pick it up. So with that being said, we're going to go straight into level 38. Level 38, there's no puzzle in level 38. It's completely based on cycles and fast cycles. Unfortunately, didn't get the fast cycle there, but that's fine, because believe it or not, level 38 is the only level that does not load all at once. It's a level that loads in chunks. So just because you miss the cycle in one chunk does not necessarily mean you're going to miss the next fast cycle, because the chunks are all independent of each other, and so like it won't matter if you miss them or not. There we go. Hopefully we get the fast cycle here at the very end. And we do. That's good. And so this is one chunk. We're going to have another chunk loaded in a little bit. And throughout this level, I am going to give a lot of like flashing lights warning. I'll mention it again once we get there. But as soon as we get up here, we're going to hopefully do another fast cycle with this right here. You really want to be able to jump before the shadows get covered there. But jump as soon as as soon as you see the light, because that's the only way you're going to be able to get the fast cycles in either of these sections. And so we're going to go across here, and from at the other side of this room, I'm going to actually be pulling a lever, and that's when I'm going to be giving like a flashing lights warning. I'd say look away from your screen every time that I pull one of these levers, because that means we're going to be overloading the core by shining another beam of light towards it, and that means the screen is going to get a little bit brighter very suddenly. I'll re-mention it every single time that it happens, but for the most part, I do recommend just looking away every time that I pull a lever. But hopefully, with having pulled the lever pretty quickly, we can get the fast cycle up here, because this is all like one section that's loaded in. And we did get the fast cycle, thankfully. At this point, we actually see that Virgil is actively trying to kill us. He has figured out what we're doing, and he is actively trying to kill us, but he is very slow at trying to do it. And believe it or not, our identity is never really confirmed in the game. At first we were like a tourist, and then a journalist, and then his assistant, and now we're a spy. At no point is the question of who you are ever actually answered. But our identity changes a lot just based on what Virgil is feeling. And in this next room, in level 38, is another really cool skip found by, once again, our glitch hunter Valcor, who has found so much stuff in this game. Shout out to him, he's great. And so we're going to be coming across here and pushing this button. And as soon as you push this button, we're going to go back and we're going to go across these pipes in the center. Because for some reason, there's just no death plane programmed onto them. Onto the very center of those pipes. If you like walk towards to the outer edges of those pipes, they will kill you. But there's just no death plane specifically where we were jumping. And
just
that's one of the
shadows.
Yeah, they're just regular shadows. Huge flashing lights warning right now. This room is gonna get very bright. And so yeah, as you can see, we're gonna overload the core one more time. Yep, and the screen's gonna shake too. And so there's still a lot of light. However, we are gonna see in this room the worst attempt at a kill in video game history. Wow. Look at that. That crate was supposed to hit us, and it just got way too early. And so right here, we're gonna do a few more small skips in the end sections of level 38. Go across here, and in these next rooms, in this orange light room with this orange reddish light, we're gonna do a very small skip right here, in which we actually go across this corner and let's grab onto it to avoid some more platforming. And now in this section, we're gonna be going through just a few more cycles with a lot of these platforms. And you really want to make sure that you're careful, because missing a cycle or just dying in this section of the game, it's so painful, especially because we're almost at the end of the run. And so just being able to do that is very disappointing, and dying is disappointing, especially in this section, because if you die at any point throughout this entire hallway, you respawn like right here. There was a certain set of movement that we thought was a little bit faster, in which you attempted to do like a faster version of the cycle that we're going to be doing right now. We've since disproven that it's not faster, and so we just do the safer version, which thank goodness, because it's so painful to get to this point in which the run is going to end in like a minute, and then die and lose like 30 seconds. So I'm glad we found a safer way of doing things. And so right here, one more cycle, and then that's pretty much the run. And we have to do one more cutscene. And there we go. Perfect. That's like the run. We just have to like hold forward. That's like the rest of the run. So we're gonna wait for this this platform to bring us over, and we get to meet James, the assistant that Virgil has been talking about throughout the entire run. He is a mountain of a man, as you can see, very large man over here on the left side of the screen. We think that he's here to like hurt us, but he's actually on our side because he has a change of heart, a mind of his own, and he sabotages Virgil's plans, as you can see. But aside from that, that's Lightmatter Any No Major Glitches. I'm super excited to have shown this off again at another marathon because I always love showing it off. And I'm hoping that I convinced only 2 like unintended deaths, I think, which is beautiful. I think it's great. And so the rest of this run was amazing. Timing's gonna end when I pull this lever. In 3, 2, 1, go! It's time.
Congratulations, that was a fantastic run.
It was 46, like a 46:30 IGT, which is very respectable.
Yeah.
Had I not like gone for like level 36 skip. Oh wait, level 36 skip I died a few times as well, but like I don't really count that because like that's just me messing around and trying to show off something that likely wasn't going to work anyway. That would have been like a 45 had I not attempted to do those. Aside from that, there was only 2 deaths in the run, which I think is amazing. And so I absolutely love this run. A lot of people are just like the main goal of this game when you first start off is sub 50. You can die a bajillion times and not have like a death and have like a not deathless run and still make under 50 minutes. And so I highly recommend picking this up. And because it's again very beginner friendly, low skill floor, high skill ceiling kind of thing. And it's like $15 on Steam, I think the full game is, which is amazing. And so and there's a demo, as I said earlier, so check that out. And if you like it, I highly recommend picking up the full game. And we share a Discord with the devs. We're in the devs Discord. We have our own channels, multiple channels, as you can see here. You can like access it right here through the menu. And so aside from that, we're a very small community. I would love to see if anyone else is interested in running this game because it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, I should probably mention as well, Lightmatter is currently on sale for 2/3 off. So now is a fantastic time to pick it up.
Yeah, it's like $5. It's amazing. So yeah, I highly recommend picking it up. And that is all from me.
It is not all quite all from you, Osmore.
Oh wait,
we have a
right.
cat we're supposed to see.
There is a cat. There's a cat we're supposed to see. You're right. Excuse me.
Our donation so kindly got us a quick visit with lovely cat whose name is Lux, I believe.
Lux, yes. His name is Lux. So Lux is a beautiful little cat. There is,
I think, is light in Latin. So
really
makes
I
sense.
did not know that.
Yeah.
So we're gonna go back to level 23. Because in level 23, well, we're gonna be doing the developer commentary skip again, just so we didn't have to sit through Virgil talking. Also, I forgot to mention, like usually in like when you're grinding the run, I wouldn't like stop the run to turn developer commentary on. I would just have developer commentary turned on from the beginning of the game, so you don't have to like exit menu. Saves a little bit of time, but every time save counts. So you have to enter through level 23 into level 24. You can't like start level 24, otherwise it won't work. But there's a little cat named Lux the cat. He was hidden in one place. If you had a very keen eye, you did see him once in this speedrun, but we're going to be doing another special version of Lux the cat, in which there is this vending machine right here. And you can open the door, and the first time doesn't count, but every time after that, there is a 10% chance that every time that you open the door... Oh my god, what? First try? Huh? That almost never happens. All right. Yeah, we got it first try. This is Lux the cat in his little home. He's adorable. I thought that was gonna take so much longer because I was going to say for every time that I open the door, I'm gonna be donating $1. And it happened on the first try, which is amazing.
I mean, it makes up for those deaths and level 36 skip not working.
You're right. You're right, exactly. Level 36 is so inconsistent. Only like 5 people have ever gotten it. And so this is Lux the cat. He's Virgil's cat, but he has no he's done no harm. He's not nearly as antagonistic as Virgil. But yeah, every time you open and close this door, there is a 10% chance that Lux will appear, and thankfully, it happened first try. So this is Lux and his little habitat. There is one other location that if you go out of your way to see in the speedrun, Lux is there. I believe it's we can actually show that off here in a bit. It's like right here in level question mark 17. Yeah, level 17, I believe. He's like right over here on top of this guy, and he meows.
Glad you found James's cat, Lux.
Oh, this is so precious.
Four-legged fluffball, but I allow him to stay for James, of course.
For James, of course.
Well, that makes sense then. He's a good cat because he's James's cat.
He's a good
not
cat because he's
Virgil's
James's
cat.
Exactly. I forgot about that fact. I thought it was Virgil's cat the whole time. And there's one more section in which we can see Lux the cat here in level 29.
With that agility and complete disregard for your own
And safety,
one could easily
mistake you for a cat.
I like cats.
You like cats. And every time that you see Lux the cat and you just stare at him for a little bit, there is a
We planted them yesterday.
piece of dialogue that comes along with it. As you can see here.
Accelerates photosynthesis and
There's
makes them
this-
grow at an incredible rate.
Oh wait,
Imagine
why isn't
applying
Lux
this
here?
technology to cultivation throughout the world. Famine,
Oh wait,
mass
I think you actually have to wait
deforestation,
for him to stop
all
talking
of
and
these
before he says the
relegated to
line,
history.
which is
Lightmatter will
absolutely
not only
disappointing.
brighten the world,
If
it
this
will
doesn't
be
happen, that's gonna be very embarrassing. But come on. There we go, meowing. You can hear Virgil playing with Lux.
Don't eat that. Come here. Where is that toy? There it is. Lux, who's a clever cat? Yeah, you are. Now fetch. Good boy.
Adorable. So yeah, those are the 3 instances in the game in which you can interact with Lux the cat.
Totally worth it.
It is, yes.
So beautiful, absolutely worth it, and so grateful to everyone who donated so that we could see that. Oh, what a beautiful way to end the night. So, Oz, if people want to see you, more of you, where can they find you?
You can follow me on twitch.tv/Osmorn. I stream very, very, very occasionally, and aside from that, I'm kind of active on Twitter, and so I highly recommend following me on Twitter as well. Aside from that, like that's pretty much all the socials that I have that are worth promoting. I'm also on Instagram and Reddit and Hive and co-host, but I don't post on any of those sites. Maybe I'll start posting like on Hive and co-host occasionally, but aside from that, not really. So Twitter and Twitch are my 2 most active sites. Aside from that, that's it. And if my commentary buddy wants to plug some stuff himself, he can.
I mean, I'm also variety streamer, twitch.tv/myrph. But I'm going to be back again tomorrow. I'm going to be hosting, going to be con support for the Grand Theft Auto run tomorrow. So if you want more of me, come and watch this tomorrow.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much for a fantastic run to end the day. And thank you, everyone who's watched and donated. This first day, we have reached a grand total of $360 out of our $1,000 goal. That is so much more than I was expecting first day, and you guys have just been so incredible, so generous. I'm so excited